Welcome back to the Legend of Heroes, where we are still doing our night exploration in Basel. We did explore last time, and today we want to go to the canyon because Risette wanted to do something there. I forgot what. Head to Orge Canyon. Will this area do the trick?
Yes, it should be perfect.
What's that?
Parabolic shards expanded, initiating satellite communications.
What is that? Again? Some of our research was supposedly used in making it too. What is it, Theo? I didn't just imagine that, did I? A low-altitude communication satellite flying 900 sag off the ground, under the sea of stars. One of the many cutting-edge orbments you guys are operating in secret, huh?
Indeed, Vern aided in its development, and the president of Calvert has given its use his tacit approval. As long as we continue reporting data on its usage, admittedly.
Sounds like him, alright. So this is how you report to HQ without the risk of anyone listening in?
That's correct. I don't believe communicating using Basel's orbital network to be safe at this point in time. As a Code E matter, the main AI in our headquarters will begin analysis and threat level determination as soon as it has received the proper data.
Must make things easy just having a computer do everything for you.
Man, Risette.
There's two sides to every coin, as the saying goes. Marduk ain't the only one whose tech level is off the charts. Hell, it's not even tech. It goes for martial arts, magic, and the likes too. But Genesis and Armata aren't much different. But whether something's above board or not, it all comes down to how you choose to grapple with it. You should try and keep that in mind.
We are all like flames given life by the goddess, but it is we who determine how we shine. I'll give what you're saying some thought, together with all of you.
That's good enough for me. You don't mind telling the other two all that's happened here, by the way?
By all means. Whether it's permitted under our company rules is a gray area. But that is the Arkwright Solutions way, isn't it?
Look at that. Seems I can't stop rubbing off on people.
So I've noticed.
Good evening, everyone. I'm sorry for bothering you so late. I thought you would be in for the night by now.
Oh, it's you. Wait. You may have seen the satellite from the observatory, yes? I was just calling to ask for your help with something. So over the Institute not too long ago we... Got it. We're meeting at the main gate, right? We'll be there in 20. We have to let Aaron know too.
The preparations are coming along nicely. And this is going to be fun. Much as I wish we didn't have to leave most of the execution to that filthy worm.
He is an overseer much like myself. I am sure he will play his role perfectly. Just take care not to let the window of opportunity pass you by.
Who do you think you're talking to, puppeteer? As if I would fail.
This battlefield will soon be an essential part of the preparations for our endgame. I will be looking forward to seeing what you can do as well, Golden One.
I shall do whatever my contract asks of me. Farewell for now.
Ooh. So who was the worm we're talking about?
There you are. I'm glad you all came.
Yep. Hey there. Wait a sec, haven't we met this chick? That's right, earlier today.
Oh, I remember you too.
I wasn't aware that you had already met. This is Associate Professor Esmeralda, another one of Professor Hamilton's students.
That's me! My full name is Esmeralda Archette. What a surprise! So you are the problem solvers I've heard so much about. And one of you is just too adorable!
Please, Essie, this isn't the time for that. I did tell her to go home, but she insisted on staying to help us.
Why must you be so cold, Quatre? I could never abandon my little brother in his moment of need.
Little brother? We're just students under the same professor.
What do you mean, just? Here's what you get for being so mean. Come here.
Stop that, please!
Man, think we could swap bodies for a sec, kiddo? Well, the more people familiar with this place that we have, show us around, the better. The bigger our group, the higher our chances of finding this intruder we're here for. That's true. I didn't see them directly, just to be clear. But Theo's sensors detected an unregistered individual entering the building. So we didn't use a stupid card to get in there. It's also worth considering that the security system used here is too advanced for just anyone to be able to slip through. I would consider that this could be Theo's sensors malfunctioning, but as it is a drone based on Cypher technology, I very much doubt it.
The reading is correct, I am sure.
Well, let's see what we can do. We might find ourselves stumbling on clues we couldn't find earlier today, if we're lucky. We're taking you two with us, but just be careful, okay? We'll be fine. We have Theo and Zeros with us, after all. Let's get to work. Woof.
Engaging search mode.
Wouldn't kill us to be more tense here. The Institute is so moody at this time of night. Oh, feeling scared? Of course not. A Kruger warrior would never be afraid of something like ghosts. I'm not remembering all the ghost stories I heard at school or anything. That would be silly. Alright, alright. Small quantity of residual shards detected. Shards? Here? So someone used their Cypher here? Let's have a quick look around just in case.
That dining hall's a bit suspect, but first things first.
Additional residual shards detected.
These readings are a little denser than before.
Does that mean we're not alone?
Guess I wasn't imagining things. Whoops.
Okay, then. The cafeteria is empty, huh? Oh, I can't sense anyone here either. By the way, was that green-haired girl the only one left in the building when we got here, apart from our intruder? Not quite. Professor Cronkite already returned home for the day, so he won't be here. But there are also several security guards along with Professor Callaghan and his assistants. I tried calling out to them from the other side of the door, but they were too focused on their work to notice. No surprise there, I guess. Well, let's just put them out of our minds for the time being. Professor Hamilton's students sure are an eclectic bunch, huh? You included? I don't want to hear that from you. Still, I think that just goes to show for how open-minded she is. She doesn't care about race, upbringing, or anything other than finding the good in everyone, then working to better bring it out. Everyone knows her as the mother of the Orbital Revolution, but even to this day she's striving to develop technology to help those in need. On top of that, she's kind, considerate. I've never met anyone like her. She sounds amazing. She was one responsible for reviving and expanding Farbert's Oasis too, wasn't she? I can really tell how much you respect her. I could never not respect her. This feels like... So the house where we visited earlier today is where Mr. Salesian and Professor Hamilton live in? That's right. The professor took him in 9 years ago, and he's been living with her since. The two of them, along with me and Professor Cronkite, are like a family now. So that's why people call him her favorite. If she left the country 2.5 years ago, however... That's right, he puts on a brave face, but he misses her so much. She's off trying to solve the problems in the East, so there's no telling when she's going to be back. The story about closing down the observatory seems to come about because of me and Professor Cronkite too. But he never confided in us, said he tried to fix the problem all on his own. And Professor Cronkite's really busy at the moment, so he can't be around very much. I just wish I could pick up the slack and support Quatre like a real big sister should. Kiddo's got a pattern, huh? He was trying to sort out that problem down in the mine alone too. But he's at the kind of age where kids want to act older than they are. Better just leave him be if you ask me. Perhaps you're right, but being there for one another is what families do. I'm a little envious, to be honest. Oh? Huh? Did you find something, Zeros? Guess we better give it a look. We sure didn't find anything downstairs though, so I'm not getting my hopes up. I agree, let's see if we can find anything.
This robo-mud acts like a real-ass dog.
Doesn't it? I spent many nights coding the design so it'd perfectly replicate a wolf's mannerisms.
See, nothing here. Well, that's strange. The door's ajar. Did it just open itself? No, that doesn't. Where are you going, Zeros? Huh? What is it, Zeros? There. Wait, what's that? Whoever they are, they ain't just using stealth shots. They appear to be combining them with something else. Theo, we're going after them.
Understood.
We're going too. Wait for me!
Heat signature detected.
Servus?
Wait! I surrender! I surrender!
A woman. She looks kind of familiar. And there was me thinking it'd be that kinky cat or someone from the mafia. Who's that? She must not be a member of the faculty then. Man, it did cross my mind it might be you, but I wouldn't have put Mirror on it. This year is one of King Cat's subordinates. I don't think I ever caught your name. Oh! So it's the desk jockey's gopher, huh?
You watch what you're calling me.
Huh? Is this an acquaintance of yours?
I was hoping not to make contact with you while I was here. But I see I underestimated just how friendly you would get with the faculty here in less than 24 hours. I did hear you had a way of conning everyone you meet into liking you, Arkwright, but you work fast.
I ain't conning anyone. I'm just that likable. Also, if you're going to try to burn someone, maybe try doing it when you're not pinned under a dog.
You think I'm enjoying this? Just get it off me!
I can't eat another bite of engadon. Looks like you guys did the rounds. We sure did, though we may have overdid it a tad for it being our first day. But now I have a better idea of just what is happening in this city. You do? Kayla Macmillan.
My name's Kayla Macmillan. That's my real name, for what it's worth. I'm a second lieutenant in the CID, and I'd prefer it if that and all we discuss are kept off the record.
I thought you were here on a job from Earthheim. So the CID is also involved then? Yeah, we knew that CEO might try to hide stuff from us, so we kept one of our clients a secret. We just didn't expect one of our guys to use a mix of Cypher and Ramda stuff to sneak in here. I apologize for the trouble I ended up causing. My intention was to investigate, so we had a backup in the event you didn't succeed. I never expected to be found. Clearly I shouldn't have underestimated the Institute of Science's technological prowess.
Theo is cool.
Of course, very cool. I don't get it. Why sneak in here at all? You couldn't just let us do our thing? I assume she concluded that the current situation was too serious not to do anything. That about the long and short of it? The current state of the orbital network and distribution network is definitely a problem. I had them go down on me the other day too. We managed to get things running again, but it's still a big hassle. But just why is this happening at all? There's only one possibility that I can propose. That would be unusually intensive parallel distributed computing. I'm no expert in the field, but that's all that comes to mind for me too. Then we have the same mind. I'm totally lost. Yeah, what are you guys talking about? Orbital computers have been getting bigger and faster over the past few years. And the bigger they get, the more orbital energy they consume. In short, yes. The larger and more complex the tasks you require of them, the more power they will consume. Orbments will generate orbital energy over time and don't generally need an external power source. That changes, however, when the amount of energy consumed vastly exceeds the orbment's ability to generate it. Yet if the orbital distribution network that serves as that external source is also heavily taxed, that leads to a temporary decrease in the amount of energy available and a spike in the amount of orbital network traffic. That theory alone would be enough to explain the issues you're here to investigate. Does parallel distributed computing really consume that much orbital energy? It's when you borrow the processing power of multiple computers through the net to do greater calculations, right? I'm impressed you know about such cutting-edge tech. Now, connecting a few terminals isn't going to consume much energy at all. But what do you think would happen if one were to connect all the terminals in the city? Then, do you think hacking is behind this? The flow of the orbital distribution network looks to me like it's being manipulated. If you intentionally adjust its flow on an erratic schedule, you can make it seem like issues are occurring at random. You might even call doing just that my specialty, though I find this here to be a distastefully crafty way of going about it. Still, while it's possible on paper, I can't imagine parallel distributed computing taking place on such a vast scale. As for controlling the orbital distribution network itself, that's simply unimaginable with current technology. We still don't know all there is about the orbital energy and how it works. Oh, but wait! Yeah, a situation mirroring that unimaginable scenario happened not all that long ago. It was around the most recent occupation of Crossbell. There were miracles and calamities born from large-scale distributed processing that should have been impossible with our current tech. So impossible that I never thought the same could happen here in the Republic, even if it's on a smaller scale. Indeed, we analyzed that situation ourselves at Marduk and reached the same conclusion about what happened. Risette? That confirms it then. She finally clues us in. I heard some about what went down in Crossbell, but if this is the same as that, well, that spells trouble for us. Right, and this isn't the first time we're running into something connected to that whole incident either. Don't know if they're deliberately setting out to replicate Crossbell's deal, but there's one thing we need to get cleared up right off the bat. We've gotta assume someone out there's trying to do research they shouldn't, that can only be done with parallel distributed computing. So the question becomes, who is it? What's the point of asking a question with only one clear answer? Professor Callaghan. Just what does he think he's doing? He's changed a ton over the past few years, but I didn't think he was up to something of this magnitude. This number belongs to...
Is that you, Salesian?
Professor Callaghan, what's wrong, sir?
I'm so sorry. I screwed up. Please, stop this. They want my...
Professor Callaghan! What just happened? He's in a special research building, right? We must hurry. What? Damn. Professor! Where are you, Professor? Start to the code? Braces? Just what is going on here? Professor Callaghan has gone missing and you're here with some evidence that he's been abusing his power? Even the police and guild have barged into the institute wanting to question me. You people have been here for a day. Are you some sort of plague being brought down upon us? It's not their fault. This is Professor Callaghan's problem. No, it's all of our problem. Quatre. Don't act like you didn't know about assistants being harassed left and right. Just, what did you want me to do about it in my position? It's not my place to say anything about his research. I'm sure that's one of the difficult things about being a joint venture group funded by multiple investors. But I also imagine the benefits outweigh the difficulties. Anyone could see the professor was on a rampage. and the problem with the orbital network and its distribution are just as clear. Just let me shoot straight with you. Was that professor linked to any strange groups? You know, like the Mafia or anything? Oh, I'd like to believe that he wasn't, but I can't say for sure. It's pretty normal for the Institute of Science and Warren Company to accept outside funding. In other words, the ground is fertile for corruption. And I can't write of a possibility with all those new terminals he suddenly had on him. Stop this pointless conjecture. You have no evidence. If rumors like this were to leak to the public during such a crucial time. How about acting like a leader for once in your damn life? These youngsters were hired so the police and guild wouldn't have to get involved. And while we sit here scrambling for answers, who knows what Professor Culligan is up to? Tell me, is there ever going to be a better time than now to step up as CO, Bill? Supervisor. Fine. I'll tell you everything I know. But please, keep this just between us. Of course, our team always keeps matters like this confidential. We're contracted with one of your biggest shareholders, the Principality of Elsheim. We have nothing to gain from hurting your image. And everything to gain from earning some brownie points of Vaughn. Professor Callaghan first began to change around a year or two ago. We'd received a request from the Republic Army to develop the next generation of weapons, something he excelled in. But when the time came to propose ideas, he lost in his own field. Professor Cronkite's was accepted. I knew that was it. Ever since he's been doing research on his own, like a man possessed. I don't know what it is he started researching, but whatever it was, it required an immense amount of capital and manpower. There came a point where he started seeking out every sponsor he could. When half a year ago I heard a place called the Ankerville Company offered an unprecedented amount of money. That name... So it got caught in your information network too, huh? Don't tell me it's the same thing as in Langport. Indeed, the Ankerville Company, much like the Messeldam Trading Company, is also one of their shell corporations. Who are we talking about? A certain mafia. They're called Almata and they're on both the guild and the police's radars. What? Professor Callaghan was involved with people like that? I've heard the rumors. Been expanding that territory an awful lot of late. Just how the hell could you have overlooked something like this? It's not my fault. I only got the info the other day. And what else could I do? Do you know what could happen to me if I put a pause on research for the Mafia? Think about the poor assistants who ended up helping them without even realizing it. So after losing against a genius professor, he started focusing entirely on his own research. My bet's that he's sticking to his same field of expertise. And if a mafia has invested massive funds into his work, I have a bad feeling about this. A really bad feeling. The network delay that dropped down to 0.35% has gotten worse again as of this morning too. That makes it highly possible that he's continuing his research in another location. But just where on earth could that be? Sounds like we got a good old-fashioned manhunt on our hands. We're gonna be combing through this place way more than what we did yesterday. I take it there are no objections. I don't like it, but I know it must be done. Better give our cards the proper ranks then. Fine, give me your cards. B rank, the certification level you mentioned. Ha, that one almost never gets issued. I'm not trying to bitch, but may as well just give us a rank A at this point. Don't ask for the impossible. Besides, we'll be able to get around much better than we could yesterday with these. Let's get to work. Time to get one over with Mafia.
I have a favor to ask. If at all possible, do you think I could accompany you?
Oh?
As Professor Hamilton's student, this situation with Professor Callahan isn't entirely unrelated to me. And I very much consider it my job to do something about it in her stead. Please, let me come with you.
Quatre. That's fine with me. But just to give you a heads up, our work takes priority. That means you're gonna be tagging along while we take care of business. That gonna be a problem? You mean like yesterday? That's fine. Wouldn't even mind helping out if there's anything I can do. Well, we're counting on you guys. I'll reach out to my contacts and see what I can dig up while you're at it. And don't do anything too crazy, okay, Quatre? Don't worry so much, Ezzy. I'm in good company. But whatever it takes, I'm determined to set things right while she's not here to do it herself. I know. I'll start talking to any dealers who supplied Professor Callaghan with parts. If I hear anything back, I'll let you know. Take good care of the boy. Yeah, you got it. Bavarian, yes. It glowed last night, didn't it? It did, yes. Most likely the same time as when Professor Callaghan's final transmission went out. We're getting close then. Yes, the last time the Genesis glowed like that was... what are you talking about? What's a Genesis? Don't worry about it. Work stuff. I'm sure we'll fill you in eventually. I hope you don't mind, Quatre. If you say so. Must be something that could take a while to explain. So where should we start? If possible, I'd like to first speak to Young. You wouldn't know him better as Professor Cronkite. The guy our missing professor at Beatfoot, right? Yeah, I bet he'd know a thing or two about his research. Sounds good to me. Plus, I think it's about time we have a little talk with yesterday's client. The anonymous one? Not so anonymous to us at this point. Come on, let's settle the score. So we're making the rounds for Newtown, the artisanal district, before heading to the Institute of Science. That sounds perfect. Then may the two of our work begin. Quatre joined the party.
I see.
The aero trams are just awesome.
Time to depart.
This is the Aerotram, operated by the City of Bar.
What do we have?
What do we have here?
Info leak. Some classified information got stolen. Before things blow up, I want you to get it back. Please keep this a secret from any Verne employees. I'll be waiting in the hotel lobby. Harrison.
Interesting. So these are the sorts of odd jobs you take on.
Yeah, the requests are a little under the table in nature. They're hard to bring up to the guild.
I think I left a chest here when I first went in here. Quite a few, actually. But this looks like we have to return here eventually.
All you on, yes?
Activated skill.
Sucker!
Activated skill.
I can live with this.
Shall I brew you some
going.
tea, Miss Clodagh?
Leave this to me. Here goes.
Engage an enemy!
Now is the time to shine. They're stunned.
Activated skill.
Here. Risette.
Activating skill.
Sucker!
figures look excellent.
You kicked some real tail, Quatre.
Enemies sighted. Be careful.
Commencing combat. That looks like a nice chest.
Ow.
What should I do?
Keep your guard up.
Maximum boost. May we proceed with caution.
Pull out all the stops.
Random light, white
Thanks,
do
pal.
things.
Chance. This'll hurt.
Make it count.
Activating skill.
Dice you up. Up to you, Risette. They're
I
down.
will address you all at once.
Activating skill.
If you please.
Have some more.
Got it.
Activating skill.
Here's a little more.
No, you don't.
You'll pay for that.
There. They're stunned. Here's our chance.
There we go.
Wow. These figures look excellent.
I'm on
That was flawless, Quatre. I'll look for it leveled up.
Hmm?
Enemy sighted. Be careful. Engaging enemy.
Don't forget about your charge attack.
Gotcha.
There's so many of them. Look out. Use a sharp boost.
Got a
to get
whole
the upper
slew of
hand.
them.
Make it count.
Give us your all.
It's over. Up to you, Risette.
This is your chance for a shard boost.
Keep it up. It's working.
Make it count.
Don't mind me.
You cannot run.
Here's our chance. You're next.
Activating skill.
Here's a little more.
A chance. All you on, yes.
There.
Ow.
Here's our chance. Yeah. I think I've grown a little.
Looks like a chest.
New material.
Let's do this.
Hotel. Harrison. Yo, Harrison, right? Van Arkwright Solutions. You got a Force PG for us? Oh, thank the goddess. I could really use your help. Oh, so, could you fill us in on the details? You're from Vaughn's Weapons Development Division, right? That's right, wait a minute, are you Quatre Salesian? Hold on, why is he here? Did they not specify that this was to be kept secret from the Institute? Your request asked for secrecy from Vaughn employees, not Institute of Science personnel. And anyway, Quatre here ain't a researcher today. He's working with me for reasons. We won't know how to help you if you don't tell us what the problem is. I feel this might be related to Professor Callaghan's situation. Alright. But please keep this under wraps. If CEO 1000 hears about this, oh goddess, help me. I can't promise that. It depends on the severity of your situation. But I can promise that I'll hear you out before making any moves. Regaining that classified info is in our best interests anyway. Anything beyond that, well, that's just against jurisdiction. Well, ain't the kid awfully bossy? Fine, I can work with that. Just let me explain myself in full, please. And preferably in private. So, there's no good way I can phrase this. I got caught in a honey trap. Oh, I heard of those. They crop up a lot in books and films. I guess life really does imitate art. Well, the way I see it, that ain't really a problem on its own. You feel blue-balled and bankrupt or what? Well, stop beating around the bush. The more we know, the sooner we can get cracking. I know, It was late last night. I just gotten off my shift at work. I had with me this briefcase with a classified document in it, as discussed earlier. And that was when I bumped into her, the hostess. She said she fell out with a regular customer she was fond of. She looked awful. But then one thing led to another and we drank together at Hotel Ingress. Yeah, what did that lead to? Spit something more at us, why don't you? That's enough. Do I really need to go into more detail? Down, Aaron. Your snide little quips aren't helping. So what happened afterwards? I don't remember, honestly. I couldn't keep my eyes open. When I came to, it was already the next morning. But then she was long gone and she'd taken my briefcase with her. I panicked. I heard about 4 SPG requests, so I sent one in to try and save face. Bring classified materials to a romantic tryst is rash, to say the least. I know. Just with security clearance and all, I figured it would be safe. Indeed, the security card system has made outside attempts at data breaches difficult. Perhaps that was what led them to target an insider like yourself. So, you take it? You take it, right? You have to act fast or that briefcase is as good as gone. What should we do, Van? Fine. Alright, we take it. Ugh, thank you so much. We can finally see the light at the end of the tunnel. Thank you, Van. I can't overlook this myself. So, just to make sure, have you contacted the hotel and asked if they still have it? You might just have left it at a bar or elsewhere. They have a lost and found for what sort of things, we believe. Actually, that's a good point. I was so panicked that I just assumed it was stolen. Let's hit up the hotel first then. If they have it, case closed. Might not even charge you for that one. But if it was stolen, then we're on the case. Right, that's fine by me. Thank you so much. I'm sorry, but we don't have anything of that description. We ask our guests to return any missing items they've found. But we haven't seen or heard of a briefcase. Housekeeping has cleaned your room already. But they didn't find anything there either. Well, great. It does sound like it was stolen then. That brings us to our mystery woman. Bye-bye. Did you happen to see a hostess or hostess-esque woman leaving the hotel yesterday morning? A hostess? No, not that I can recall. I see, very odd. So where could she have gone in that time? Anybody in general leave around that time then? Yes, actually. There was a researcher who rushed out of a hotel that morning. She looked like she was in a hurry. And did she? Yeah, I think she did. She might have had a case with her. Researcher? You know, now that I think about it, she was really sharp. She knew far more about engineering than a layman should. I've been talking to her about my job and she was asking me really in-depth questions about the tech I brought up. Well, sounds like her test gigs BS then. The Scientist Act 2. Yeah, she knows more than she lets on. That puts the honey trap theory back on the table. And that means the hunt's on. We'll handle the investigation from here. I think we've got enough to go on it now. Right. Thank you ever so much. So, we have a general gist of who the suspect is. Now how do we find her? Process of elimination, I'm thinking. We can try to figure out where she couldn't be. Let's go over a briefcase before that. First step here would be figuring out a motive. What was in there, and why was she after it? That's classified info, as I'm sure I don't need to remind you. But, well, we do need to know. Van, can I trust you? Trust is everything in this line of work. Your secrets are safe with us, promise. Alright, Harrison, if you would fill us in. Okay, fine. So, there are blueprints for a new orbital gun, plus some other design documents. The military is planning to adopt them soon. We've been getting our parts and assembly pipeline ready. If those design docs were to fall into foreign hands? Yes, it would be a problem. Does explain why its contents were so highly classified. Well, hopefully it doesn't come to that. But if you do get the docs, making the actual gun wouldn't be so easy. It uses some very rare, very complex metal alloys. And as far as I'm aware, only Basel has the custom-made machining tools required to work with them. You said the thief was well versed with engineering. She might realize she needs those alloys once she starts reading the documents. Could she still be in the city then, trying to procure some alloys for herself? You can't just work with them by hand. The alloys are useless without those special tools. And you can't buy them from the Vaughn store unless you show them your certification card. So even if she knew she needed the alloys, she wouldn't be able to use them. She didn't steal your certification card too, did she? She shouldn't have. I mean, oh no. Are you kidding me? Not my certification card too? Oh no. Yeah, I figured as much. She already had you wrapped around her finger. Betcha she went to the Vaughn store with it. Let's head over there and ask around. You just sit tight until we finish our investigation. We'll keep you posted. Okay, good luck.
The arrow tram's just awesome.
Welcome. Well, always good to see Institute folks. What can I do for you? Yes, hello. We have a question. So, did a female researcher come by the store this morning? Yeah, somebody came by earlier today. Looked like a researcher to me. She was a real looker, I remember that much. She dropped by right after we opened. I see. Did she buy anything? She did, yeah. She asked for some alloy machining tools. Was a bit of a strange ask. But she had a certification card on her, so yeah, went ahead and got those for her. She also asked where she could get the alloy themselves. Maybe she needed them for a project or something? Anyway, I told her they might be able to help her over at Giscard's. So that's where our little fox went off to. We best hurry. Thanks for the info.
Let's do this.
Well, if it isn't Quatre, what's got you looking so serious? I had a quick question for you, if you don't mind. Have you had a woman from the Institute come by looking for metal alloys? Ah, it's like you saw it happen. Have you had someone like that come just a bit ago? She had a valid card, so I went ahead and sold her the alloys she wanted. Should I not have? Nah, don't sweat it. We just needed to talk with her about something. I see. Well, I guess that's fair. Now that you mention it, actually, she said something about heading off to Libel after she was done with her business here in Basel. If I had to guess, she probably made for Orgic Canyon. Thing is, she was driving some sporty ETWS make, so you probably couldn't catch her if you tried. Well, that gives us a good idea of where she is at any rate. Thank you. Should we head over to the canyon then? I mean, it's not like we can catch her if we do. You heard the man. Nope. Northeast is where we're heading. Why? That's the complete opposite direction. Think about it. We're dealing with somebody who's making off with classified info and trying to shake the cops off her tail. So why would she tell some rando where she's going? She ain't gonna leave a trail like that. That does make sense, but then why did she tell Eugen she was going to Libel? To deceive him, I suspect. She may well have known she's being followed. Having stolen top secret intel, she's likely trying to throw the authorities off her trail. That does make sense. It's exactly what a criminal would do. I agree with Van then. Let's head for the highway toward Edith. Yeah, once we're back in Newtown, we can hop in my car and hunt them down. Up and gang, we're taking the truck. We need to catch her before it's too late. Pursue. Well, she's a comfy ride, right? It's comfortable, yes, but I don't think now's the time to be discussing that. Just hurry, please. We have to make sure the classified information doesn't fall into the wrong hands. Yeah. Oh, I think that's a car. Looks like she's about to stop. I'm going to pull over too, so get ready. Yes, I left Basel with the documents in hand. I also procured with special tools and alloys, even if it was outside the scope of the mission. But that aside, everything has gone according to plan. I will have to let you go for a moment. I'll call back shortly. I believe you have found our perpetrator. This the honey trap girl? Yeah, I did that. Oh dear, I thought my little ruse would have brought me more time. You do not appear to be associated with the police or Marduk. Perhaps you might be interested in negotiating? I can offer you a substantial reward if you let me go. Tempting, but nah. Normally I'd be up for a little wheeling and dealing, but I've got a pair of scrutinizing eyes on me. Afraid you're just gonna have to hand over the case. Just what exactly would you have done had I not tagged along? Oh my, a researcher from the Institute is here too? Well, I'm sorry to disappoint, but the case stays with me. I'll give you two options. Go back to Basel empty-handed, or return in body bags. We will never agree to your terms. I concur. We'll instead opt for a third option. Fight. That Orbital gun design looks eerily familiar. It must be... Well, don't say I didn't warn you. What? She has monsters the whole time? Someone came prepared. Not like it'll make any difference, or we'll make mincemeat out of them in seconds flat.
There are so many of them! Look out!
Pull out all the stops!
Here I go! To Brown Guard! I won't let this chance slip by.
This is your chance for a shard boost.
I will address you all at once.
Going all in.
Huh?
You'll pay for that.
Use a shard boost to get the upper hand. Keep it up! It's working! All out!
Got a whole slew of them. Got a whole slew of them.
Make it count!
Give them your all!
You're not getting away.
Blast off!
Activating skill!
Here's our chance!
Got a whole slew of them.
Full boost! Go all out! Activating skill!
Brace yourself. Vandalize! Raid!
Boost gauge limiter unlocked!
No way, how could I possibly have lost? Checkmate, now give up the goods. And while you're at it, answer me this. What organization do you belong to? Who hired you? I can answer that in her stat. I recognize that particular gun model. She's likely associated with Zect Arms. You mean the new weapons manufacturer? If I remember things right, their name started making rounds during the war with the Empire. Correct. They are similar to Marduk in some respects, although they are not nearly as large an enterprise. Their ambitions for weapons development, however, are quite ferocious. They've been aggressive with expanding their market share of late. And now they're sending out spies to do their dirty work? Damn, that's low. I can't say I disagree. Stealing technology from competitors is hardly an ethical business practice. Now then, I suppose we'd better get this stuff back to our client. We should also take her back with us. Could you restrain her for me, Farida? On it! Yes, this all looks right. Thank the goddess it's all still here. Thank you so much for getting the briefcase back. That's a relief. Is this case closed then? Well, no, it looks like they've broke into it. She knew to procure the right alloy and the tools, so I think she probably got to read the documents. The information itself has likely reached Zect Arms already. How they plan to utilize that information, I'm not sure. But simply having Republic schematics will give them an advantage in their own research and development. This is bad, really bad. There has to be something we can do to stop that, but what? There's another card we can play, but you might not like it. We can bring in some groups to help us out, but then, well, no. This matter concerns more than just you now. There are far-reaching industrial secrets at stake. It would be in your best interest to swallow your pride and consult the authorities. Alright, fine. The company can know. What's your plan? Well, we want to stay on good terms with the boys in blue. Then we should probably bring this to Vaughn and let them work with the police themselves. Whole thing will be blown wide open at that point, but the clients made its bed there. That'll at least stop the intel from spreading. Or we can call some friends in other places. Beat up the second lieutenant and the CID will have us snuffed out in no time. I think they'll be happy with an industrial spy as down payment. I'd say the CID. Let's give the CID a call. The second lieutenant just so happens to be in the area. She should be able to cover it. The CID, why go all the way up to them? Wouldn't the police be better suited for local investigations? Nah, the police can't do much about the big picture. This'll really throw a wrench in her plans. For better or worse, the police stick to the letter of the law. The CID, they don't really answer to anything. Justice is blind, but they've got eyes everywhere. Zacked Arms as a whole ain't going anywhere once they're done with this perp. I see. Well, that should be fine then. We'll contact the CID if it's all the same to you. Yeah, I don't really have a choice. I need to bite the bullet and confess. Then it's settled. Risette, can you call up the CID? Certainly. Before long, Second Lieutenant Kayla and her CID accompaniment arrived at the scene. The spy was taken into CID custody, followed shortly by cutthroat negotiations with Zacked Arms. The client did ultimately confess to his error. However, because he nonetheless helped the CID apprehend the spy, they conveniently expunged his name from their report to the Vaughn Company. Seriously, I can't thank you guys enough. Without your help, the briefcase could have done some serious damage in the wild. I think it's probably for the best that you consulted the CID as much as I didn't want to. Yeah, sucks we couldn't honor the original request, but now we got brownie points with the CID and you still got a clean sheet. Yeah, I feel a bit guilty getting off scot-free, but well, I can't complain about that, can I? Thank you for concocting such an airtight plan. I need to excuse myself for a minute now. They'd like to question me. Best of luck!
That takes care of that.
Reward deposited.
Obtain Mare Grey. Good, but I would end the episode here and we continue probably exploring the city and everything next time. Until next time then, I'm Mace and don't get lost.